Claude Code is probably the best AI coding engine in Terminal right now. But every request goes to the Anthropic cloud. That's why you have to pay for every token. I mean, if you want to use Claude Code in your local pointing to Anthropic API, for every call it's paying some tokens, and we are kind of paying that. But what if I told you that you can run exact same Claude Code CLI without paying a single penny? But you will get all the features like dash commands, editing, multi-step agentic workflow, everything you can do. But using some local open source model, right? That's great. Okay. In this video, I'll be sharing with you what steps you need to follow to run Claude Code locally with some open source model without paying a single penny. Okay. So to know the process, you have to be with me till end of the video. Okay. Let's see how we can do that.
Welcome back to my channel. So here what changed recently and why this video is possible now. Earlier, if you wanted to kind of run the Claude code using your local model, you need to have some translation proxy like LightLM sitting in the middle. That was kind of an interface between your Ollama instance or Ollama platform and your Claude code. But right now, starting with Ollama version 0.14, this intermediate interface is not at all required because now Ollama itself uses the Anthropic API, messaging API. That's why it can directly interact. Like you can use Claude Code to directly interact with the Ollama. Okay, so just to give you a heads up, like we are going to use Ollama platform. Okay, so that is basically the platform which will run your local model. Okay, so if we say what is Ollama is kind of your Docker where you run the images, right? So instead of saying something, let's go to or jump into the video itself, like how we can do that, or we can connect Cloud Code to our custom model locally. So first we need to start with the Ollama itself, ollama.com. That is the website for Ollama where you can download the Ollama platform for your local. Since in my system already I have downloaded Ollama, so you can see the version itself is 0.31.1. Here it's directly uses that Anthropic messaging API. Okay, so you don't need that light LLM in between model to connect with any custom open source model. Okay, now what we can do, if you go to this Ollama documentation or Ollama site, there you can see after downloading the Ollama in your system, you can kind of run any model. Okay, so for that reason I will go back to the document section. So in documents, or if you go back once again to the model section, it will show you what are the different models you can run locally. So it completely depends on your system capability. For my case, my local system is 16 GB, so and I have a shared GPU, so that's why it's little bit problematic sometime to run the model. But if you have at least 32 GB of RAM, if you have a GPU parallel to that, it will make the process faster. So anyway, so first what you need to do to for anything, like if you want to run any model or any way you want to connect your Claude Code to custom model, you need to use a command called Ollama pull the image. Okay, so Ollama pull whatever image version. So already I have few images installed in my or sorry, in few custom models installed in my system. Still I just want to share with you which command you are going to use to download some model. So if I go with GLM 5.2, so what I need to do, I will use the command called Ollama pull GLM 5.2. So then it will download the model. You will see that file. So probably I may type something wrong. GLM 5.2 is not there probably, or okay, let me see what else we have. Okay, what I will do, I will start with GLM 4.7. Okay, so let me try once again. So what I will write, that Ollama pull GLM 4.7. Let's see if it is present or not. Yeah, pull model manifest is file doesn't exist. Then let's go with something smaller, or run once again Ollama JMA 4. That is a JMA 3. Let's down Ollama pull JMA 3. So hopefully it will be present there. Yeah, so you see it started downloading. So it's a model with size of 3.3 GB. So if I say JMA 3 is kind of a small model for us to run in our local system. Okay, so it will take some time to get downloaded, and if you see, so our download is almost at the end. So we have only 1 minute left to download this JMA 3 model. Before continuing to that, I will just give an update. Like JMA 3 has different version or different model parameter. You can say 1 billion and capacity. You can say so. It's kind of a model with having 270 million, 1 billion capacity, and 4 billion, 12 billion capacity as well. Out of those, if you run JMA 3 like us, it will download the latest version, which is having almost 4.3 or something. Let me see, 4.3 billion parameters. Okay, so around. So other than that, if you have a higher capacity in your system, you can download anything like other versions as well, with specifying the parameter amount like 4 billion, 12 billion, whatever capacity you have. For me, I am just using 4.3 for this testing purpose. Okay, so let's go back to the download itself. So it's almost done, 95% is done. And whenever it will be completed, you will see that it will download all the manifests and everything. So let's wait for 2 more minutes, like 5 seconds we have. Let's get it completed. And okay, so we can see that model has been downloaded or pulled from the repository, and it's running in our Ollama local instance. So if we want to check that in Ollama, so if I try with the local host port, like something like local host Ollama, local host 11434, that is the port where Ollama normally runs. So yeah, it's showing Ollama is running. So let's go back to that. I can use the command called Ollama list. It will show what are the models I have at present. So I have different models in my local system. So out of that, as I mentioned, JMA 3, that's what I just downloaded. And it took around 3.3 GB space. This is the latest model. So now how I can run Claude Code in my local. So in that, for that reason, I need to kind of type Ollama launch Claude. Okay, so if I do that, there is a one option called Ollama launch Claude, and if you want to specify the model, you can do that as well, like model, and you can mention the JMA 3. So in by default, it will consider JMA 3 as a model. Later also we can do, but for the timing, I will only use this Ollama launch Claude command. So if I do so, you will see there is options. There are different options, like there also you can select like whatever model. So it can run Kimi, K2, and Minimax, any other model based on your system requirement. But as I mentioned, like in my local, I have different models, so I will go with JMA 3. So that is the latest model what I have downloaded. So I will select JMA 3. Okay, so if you click that, it will take some time and to ask for to trust your local folder where you are running. So if I click that, you will see this is our Claude Code CLI. But in our case, it's showing a message called Cloud Connector is disabled because Anthropic API key or another source is set takes precedence over the Cloud AI login. Why? Because already I have Cloud Code subscription. Okay, so just to kind of overlook that, we can do one thing. I will just log out from the system, and once again I will try three one more thing, important thing basically. I will try to install three environment variables to access or projecting to my local running model. What I mean, like, by that only Cloud Code will connect to my local running model using Ollama platform instead of calling the actual Anthropic API. So what are those parameters or environment variables? So first is we need to set for Windows, we need to set the Anthropic base URL because my Ollama is running on port localhost 11434. So I need to set this base URL as well. So what I will do, I will set this base URL once. Second is my second auth token, Anthropic auth token, that I will set. And third is the model, what I am going to use, the Anthropic API key, which is empty basically, because since I am pointing to my local system, local model, so I don't need any API key. uh, that's why I need to set this as empty. Okay, fine. Now if I go with the same command like Claude or Ollama launch Claude once again, it will again ask for the Chema 3. I will click on enter. Now it's asking or is configuring based on my local setup. So I can, anyway, how Cloud Code works, similar to that, it will just ask for some configuration. What should be your UI, like theme and other things. So let it be as it is. I will press enter once again. I will trust the folder, and you will see this is my plot code, which is right now pointing to my local custom model. So if I check the model itself, then I will see it's pointing to Jema 3. Okay, so that is the model which I am using. So now I can ask anything to the system. So what I if I ask what is the capital of India, let's see what it says. So there is a latest for API library geometry latest does not support tools. Okay, it's a API error. Okay, and for this one. Okay, we'll try one more thing. Model. Okay, if I like, where is Delhi? API error registry Ollama API library geometry latest does not support tools. Okay, I will not use this. Then let's go back. Let's do exit, and I will run once again the. I will try with some other model basically. So I will write plot code. Let me use. Okay, I do have Mistral model downloaded in my local. I will use this Mistral and trust the folder once again. And if I ask, right now the model is Mistral, which plot code is pointing. So if I check here, see the model is Mistral right now. Okay, which is running in my local system. So even if you see here, you can see it's consuming my system memory. It's almost using my whole memory, and GPU is also, it's consuming quite high. So for Mistral, if I ask the same question, what's the capital of India? Let's see what it says. Okay, now it's something working. Result listening is internally Cloud Code is working. So as I mentioned, like, I have some limitation with my system, so that's why it might take some time. So, but you will see similar to the thing what you normally check for Claude URL. It will kind of download and based on some token, which is completely free because it's the model itself running in my local. Okay, so let's wait for the output because my system is quite limited with the RAM size. That's why it might take some time. So you will see that it's taking some token to download it. and it will give us back the response. So based on your system, like if it is a 32 GB system, then it will be easier for you to kind of run the local models, but without paying a single penny for the API or the model calls. So let's see what's the response it gives us back. Okay, since I have a lot of things running in my system. Okay, the capital of India is Delhi, so it's success basically. So I am right now using Claude Code and also pointing to the local LM. Okay, so this is the whole thing what I wanted to share with you, because I thought it's useful, something which everyone should know. So based on your system, as once again I want to mention, and based on your system capacity, if you have higher amount of RAM as well as GPU, then it will be easier for you to run some higher parameter model, and you will get uh, good response in that case. So for today, that's all what I had. Hopefully it was informative. So I would ask, or I would request everyone to kind of share the video with your known people and let them know the feature as well. For today, thank you. Bye.